So how do things differ if I'm looking to buy a property at auction?
Auction, yes. Very, very stressful. I've spoken to a lot of people who've been to auctions for the first time and they find it extremely intimidating. So the thing about an auction is to make sure that by the time you get to that point, you're prepared. So we would need to look at the contract many days beforehand to identify any issues that may be in that contract so they can be dealt with ahead of time. Building reports, pest reports, strata report, all have to be done beforehand so that you're totally confident about what you're buying is okay, and any considerations as to the level of bidding are taken into account, which may be a reflection of work that has to be done to the property or whatever. Finance, very important that finance is in place, because not only do you have to actually have the 10% deposit available at the auction, you have to be confident that having signed the contract, if you are the successful bidder, you'll be ready to settle on the settlement date, which is usually 6 weeks later.
And what if I don't have that 10% available?
There's a number of ways we can help out in negotiating the deposit. True, it's generally expected that a 10% deposit is payable at exchange of contracts, but it doesn't have to be. Often we can negotiate with the vendor prior to the auction or prior to exchange of contracts, and very often a 5% deposit will be acceptable. The other alternative is a document called a deposit bond. This is a document issued by an insurance company or a bank, which effectively is a guarantee to the vendor, so you don't actually have to come up with a 10% yourself. You just purchase this deposit bond from the company that issues them and hand that over to the vendor. The vendor then has the comfort of knowing that if there is a default, they can call upon the deposit or the bond issuer to pay them the 10% deposit that you would normally forfeit. The point that I'd like to make about a deposit bond, however, is by purchasing that, you're not removing your obligation to pay the 10%, you're just moving it to the issuer of the bond, and if they have to pay out, that company will be recovering that 10% deposit from you.